On today's episode, we are going to take a quick look at one of my favorite industries and one of my favorite companies. That's going to be the semiconductor market and advanced micro devices, AMD, and its recent deal to improve this overall chip shortage issue. So if this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for free newsletter, free Discord, and a lot of great investing ideas. So make sure to check out the links below. So AMD, super strong. Year to date has returned 66.75% to investors. I'm super excited to have AMD and other semiconductor companies in my portfolio this year because they have definitely beaten the market and kind of pulled my account up a nice amount. Not only this year, but in the past 5 days, AMD alone has returned over 10% to investors. I think that's pretty exciting, especially kind of with this pull down that we're seeing in a lot of growth stocks at the moment. So like I mentioned earlier, right, AMD is working to improve this kind of chip shortage issue that's affecting the overall market. And on December 23rd, 2021, it kind of entered or amended a previous agreement it had with GlobalFoundries. For those first not familiar with GlobalFoundries is a manufacturer of semiconductors. They are actually public. They turned public in October 28th, so at the end of this year. So recently, a new IPO company is traded under the ticker GFS under the Nasdaq, and we can see year to date it has already done 41.4% to investors. GlobalFoundries actually spinned off from AMD a few years ago, maybe over 10 years ago. But since the spin-off, AMD and GlobalFoundries have been in partnerships where GlobalFoundries produces numerous chips for AMD. So what we're seeing is an amendment to a previous agreement. So first, let's take a quick look at the previous agreement. And I also want to explain later on in this episode how we're going to continue to see more agreements like this. So one of the agreements previously was on May 13th of 2021. So they kind of had the agreement for 2022, for 2023, and 2024 that AMD was going to spend at least $1.6 billion on GlobalFoundries. And that's great. That's what you want to see. You want to have some form, because now what does it do? First, it helps GlobalFoundries because they have some form of constant revenue coming in for the next 2 to 3 years, right? And that's what GlobalFoundries wants to see. At the same time, it helps out AMD because now AMD has a expected amount of inventory for them coming on a yearly basis where they can kind of always have X amount of chips made or have the ability to make X amount of chips. So it helps both the foundry company and the chip company like AMD. But before we begin, let's take a listen to today's sponsor. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me scout out new growth stocks. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services the Fool offers. Through the Motley Fool Stock Advisor services, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 new picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have done amazing returns. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more of this year, you can visit fool.com/Jose Najarro or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if the stock advisor is right for you. Thanks again to the Motley Fool, and now onto today's video. So they kind of made an amendment here on December 23rd, and pretty much everything kind of stays the same. They might have changed a little bit in the pricing, but we don't know too much information on that. The biggest change is the price point and the years. So the other one was $1.6 billion between 2022 to 2024. Now they kind of updated this deal to be about $2.1 billion that AMD will spend on GlobalFoundries from 2022 to 2025. So now you've added an extra year of known revenue for GlobalFoundries, but you've also added one more year of known inventory for AMD. So again, positive for both companies, especially right now with the chip shortage happening. Not sure how long it will last. So you need to plan way ahead into the future. So now AMD kind of secured more inventory for later on in the year. Again, that doesn't mean that's the maximum that they would get. GlobalFoundries agrees to increase their minimum annual capacity allocation to AMD for the years of 2022 through 2025. So GlobalFoundries also said, hey, if you extend our deal, we're also gonna, even though this is our minimum, we will even increase our minimum annual capacity for you because you're kind of helping us out in the long run. So again, beneficial for both parties. And I do believe this is one of the good reasons stock price was up on Monday, right? It tells investors that AMD is planning way ahead into the future to secure products. If they secure products, it means they'll be able to sell plenty and plenty of chips. Now I want to talk a little bit about why deals like this happen. And the first thing is companies like the manufacturing, like Global Foundries, sometimes could get hurt, right? Because the semiconductor industry could be very, very cyclical. One of my favorite charts to look at is Micron Technologies. We can take a look at trailing 12 months revenue for Micron in the past 10 years. This is a producer of memory semiconductors. So we can see this is extremely cyclical. Even though its lowest point is always higher compared to the previous point, right? We can see this low point is higher than this point, and this lower point is higher than this. If you are a manufacturing company, you don't want to start building new chip factories at this point, at the peak, and then demand starts to die down, right? Because that would suck for you if you were a manufacturing plant of buying things or making products or building a manufacturing plant at the peak of demand. That would actually be the worst case scenario. But by having deals like this, it kind of gives these manufacturing plants, these chips manufacturing plants, a reason to invest in new plants because, okay, we got demand now for the next 3, 4, 5 years at least. So we know with the current plants that we have and the current pre-orders, it would be beneficial for us to build at least one more new plant. And these kind of deals that work out here with AMD and Global Foundries, I believe are gonna appear in numerous other companies. There's numerous semiconductor companies and numerous kind of manufacturing plants. And we're going to start to see a small increase of plants, kind of what we saw in 2021 and 2020. We're seeing a huge production of plants being built here in the United States. For example, here on July 19th of 2021, Global Foundries plans to build a new fab plant in upstate New York. And again, I believe deals like this are done because they are working really well with other semiconductor companies. And I feel for the market to continue to improve in this chip product, we're gonna have to continue to see big deals like this between the chip producer and the chip maker. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. It's pretty much a rundown of what's happening with AMD and the overall semiconductor market. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.